Maxspect's known for the jump pumps and jump lights. Now we have an algae scraper. Howard, what's different about this guy?
Okay, first of all, have you used a scraper before?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the number one problem with scraper is that the blade get dull really quickly. So maybe in a week or maybe 2 weeks, the blade get dull, you cannot clean this, and then basically you have to work really hard to clean this algae. So when I designed this scraper, I want to have like a built-in whetstone so you can actually sharpen the blade.
Ah, okay.
So, but in order to be able to sharpen the blade has to be thicker. So this is actually almost 3 times thicker than any other scraper blade that you see in the market. So you can actually feel how strong the blade is. So it won't warp, it will not bend on the corner. So you can actually clean from edge to edge without losing the sharpness on the edge.
And that's one of my complaints about other blades is they bend really easy. Once
Right.
they bend, they're shot. They're no good.
Right. And moreover, if the blade doesn't bend when it gets dull, you can always sharpen it.
You can
with
sharpen
the
it on
whetstone.
the outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that. So it's a built-in whetstone on your scraper.
Wow.
Now, we also have a really strong magnet on this scraper. The bigger one, the large one, can fit up to 1 inch glass.
1 inch.
The small one can go up to 5/8 of an inch. So it's really strong magnet. And the problem with strong magnet is so hard to move it around when you are cleaning a glass, right? You have to.
Yeah.
So we have actually put in the gliding feet. This is
Okay.
acrylic that will help you reduce the friction so you can actually move the scraper a lot easier. You can try yourself. This is 5/8 of an inch. You can try the smaller one as well. You can literally move it with just 1 finger.
Yeah, I'm not getting tired. I got 30 feet of glass to clean. No problem with this.
Yes.
Okay.
So the idea of having this refined scraper is it will improve the longevity of a traditional scraper, but we still offer replacement blades for regular glass tank or acrylic tanks. So we have plastic ABS blades for acrylic tanks.
Okay, so acrylic version, a glass version.
Yeah.
We can sharpen both versions or just the
No,
glass?
you can only sharpen the steel blade, but not
Okay.
the plastic blade.
Okay, so we can get more out of the blade. It's a more
Right.
effective blade when it's in the tank, and this one will go up to 1 inch. Most of them stop at 3/4.
Yes.
Howard, algae scrapers have been in the hobby for a long time, but you guys were the original gyre pumps. Now you have the jump line. Talk to me about this.
This is the latest version of our JUMP Gyre, the 3rd generation, in fact. So we make some changes not only to the pump, but also to the controller. We are getting about the same flow, but with this new eductor here, you can see it's a clip-on eductor that can direct the flow precisely where you want them. Okay, previously we don't have this on the 2nd gen of the JUMP Gyre. So, and the controller is also updated. Previously, they can only control 1 pump at a time, but the new one can actually link up wirelessly. There's no app control because a lot of people, they don't need to bother with the app.
Sure.
But you get all the functionality with this controller that can link up to multiple, like I would say a couple dozen devices. The only restricting factor is the interferences between devices. Do you have a concrete wall between it? Or there's a lot of devices, Wi-Fi devices that can interfere. Otherwise, you can connect up to 50, 60 units.
Really?
But typically speaking, you would probably use maybe 5 at most for a tank.
So one controller controls 2, and then do the controllers talk to each other?
No, this is actually one-on-one. But
Okay.
each of the controller can pair up with the other one.
Okay. So
and we can also have a master-slave, mode that you can, do synchronized or anti-synchronized. So you can do whatever wave, movement, water movement type that you want to create in your tank. Like some of them like to do pulses in synchronized mode so that they can get that synchronized up and down wave movement. Some people like to do anti-synchronized, so move water left to the right and to the left. You can do it now with the JUMP Gyre.
So the controllers only control 1 pump, but they talk to each other to set that up.
Yeah.
And everything's done on the controller itself.
On the controller.
No app, which helps with the price.
Yeah. Well, we have to control the cost too. We want to provide a really high-end product, quality product, but without a big price tag. So this is the JUMP line.
And then what's gallons per hour on each of them?
This one is the same, 2,000 GPH. That one is 4,000 GPH.
Okay.
So it's moving a lot of water.
And they'll move backwards too, which I always like that downflow.
Yeah, it's like, I would call this the massage flow. When it when you spin backwards,
Yeah.
it will create some sort of turbulence around this area.
Yep.
It will have some corals like that turbulence within the tank. So it's not exactly a reverse flow per se, but it will create that turbulence that most coral likes.
Well, it's different than just a pump that goes one direction.
Right,
We can vary
right.
the speed, but this runs backwards, which adds
Yes.
a variety that I like.
Yes.
We've talked about pumps. Now you guys have a light on as well. Let's
Yep.
take a step over here and look at this. So Howard, a JUMP light. I'm guessing this is also an entry-level light with a different price point.
Yes, this is the second generation of the JUMP LEDs that we have. I think a lot of people have probably seen our first generation, the JUMP L165, which is a 65 watt of LED.
Okay.
Second gen, we modified the spectrum a little bit. It's really blue, as you can see. We get the blue tint. Our customer likes the blue version so much that we want to basically, improve the blue spectrum. And also, we now have two versions.
Okay.
This is the L260, the 60 watt LED, and this is the L290, 90 watt.
Okay.
Now, in terms of price point, this is actually 30% cheaper than the first gen.
Wow.
So you get the same, basically the same LED, the same wattage, but for 30% less, cost, right? At the same price, this is retail at $240, the same price as the first gen. You now get a 90 watt. So either you can pick, like, if you have a budget, limited budget, you can get the same LED but with 30% less price, or a bigger one. Same price, you get more wattage.
And then this has more coverage because it's a big old
Right,
panel.
yes, this is the same size as the old one. As you can see, this is slightly larger.
Okay.
So it goes well around 20 to 24 inches, depending on the height you mount it.
Sure.
24 by 24 maximum. This one goes about 22-ish. So if you have a tank, which is a nano tank, I think the 260 is perfect fit for you. But if you have a bigger tank, like up to maybe 200, 300 gallon, then you can have multiple of the 290s.
Okay, and they'll all talk to each other through
Right.
an app.
Yes, it's all cloud-enabled, app control, the
Okay.
same app that you expect from the old version.
Simple to set up a lighting program.
Yep.
You get that bluer light, which us hobbyists like for that
Yep.
coral pop.
Yep.
Then if you want to go to more featured light, you have your ethereal light back here, which gives
Yep.
us all the bells and whistles.
That's the Flagship. This is now a 230 watt version. Comparing to the 150 on the original Ethereal we launched back in 2015, this is now a major upgrade.
Wow.
Okay, so we are talking about 230 watt, but on top of that, we are actually having 276 LED chips in it.
276 LEDs in
Yes,
here.
so technically, if I turn on every LED, we can run this LED at 700 watt. But we are not doing that. First of all, the heat cannot be dissipated, quick enough. Second of all, the reason why we are doing it, we want to have additional redundancy. So
Okay.
we are running the LED at a lower wattage, lower temperature to improve the lifespan, the longevity of the LED.
Okay.
Okay, and also by doing that, we actually have a bunch of extra LED. So we can technically switch from the blue spectrum to the white without losing any power. Unlike the other LED where you have to turn on some of the blue channels
Yeah.
or white channels. So it's like having empty seats in a concert, right?
Yeah.
When you move from one side of the concert to the other side, you will leave some empty seats. Same thing here, when you turn to the blue spectrum, some of the whites turned off.
Okay.
When you go to the white spectrum, some of the blues are turned off.
Okay.
I can show you here what I mean by that. So right now, I can change the color temperature from a really deep blue spectrum all the way to like a white spectrum. So you can see the color changes.
You're right.
If I have a PAR meter right here, it will measure about 1400 Kelvin, 1400 PAR right here to
Wow.
about close to 1500.
Okay.
Okay. It doesn't matter if I change color from white to blue, the
PAR
PAR
stays
remains
the
the same. So this is what we meant by having additional redundancy of LEDs.
Okay.
Also, this LED has a lot of additional features. All the bells and whistles, like you said, you would expect from a premium LED. We have a lunar cycle. We have like what we call the cloud pattern that you can actually pick from one of 5 regions in the world where corals are harvested.
Okay.
Like for example, in Indonesia,
Yeah.
in Australia, Great Barrier Reef, Okinawa in Japan, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So you can copy that profile where the dawn and dusk time,
Okay.
the amount of light, the coral receive every day.
Yeah.
So you can use that as the basis of your programming as well.
All right.
Okay. So on top of that, we also have the lunar cycle.
Okay.
A true lunar cycle, a 29-day cycle.
Oh, okay.
So you just turn it on, it will automatically do the lunar cycle for you. And we have 2 colors for the moonlight too. blue or white. And the moonlight is really low powered, so you don't get a really bright moonlight.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, it always
So-
bothers me when it wakes up the fish or the fish don't go to sleep.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Now, like the original Ethereal that we launched back in 2015, we have the fan in the middle that draws air from top and bottom, and it pushes out from the side.
Okay.
So the whole body is actually a heat sink.
Ah.
It's slim. That's why we can make it so slim
Yeah.
and all still run it at 230 watts.
Okay.
It's got a mood light that we can also change different patterns. Like for example, this is my favorite, Night Rider 9080 hue. So you can, it goes out. I can do like the red color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
does
awesome.
something like that. Of course, this is one of the many different mood light pattern that you
Sure.
can choose from. I mean,
It's cool.
It's cool to look at.
Yeah.
It improves the aesthetic of the LED.
Right.
Okay. Now, I also want to explain to you, when you have a big LED like that, when you do chores, right, you always have to turn off the light or you have to lift the light up. You don't have to do it with the Ethereal. All you need to do is to lift it up
Wait a second.
and it will just turn
And it
off.
turns off.
Yes.
Ah.
So now you can do your chores, clean up, move your clothes around.
Right.
Okay. Now, since we lift up the LED, we can also look at the amount of LEDs we have.
There's lots of them.
Yeah, 276 in total. And we have an integrated lens as well. It's a V-shaped lens.
Okay.
It will basically we have a spread of up to 30 inches by 30 inches.
Okay.
Depending on the height you mount the fixture.
Sure.
But also get the penetration deep into 24-inch deep tank.
Okay.
Okay, now that we're finished doing the chores, we can just, flip back down and we just turn back on.
Right. It fades right
Automatically.
out.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
And some people, they like to put their tank in the living room, right?
Yeah.
And when they sit on the couch, the light is kind of leak in the eye. So we actually include a shade. It's come with the package
And it
that
just
you
slides
can
right
clip
in.
on. Yep. We felt that premium products should have everything included: mounts, shade. We don't want to charge you like $20 for a shade, right?
Yeah.
So everything you see here is included in the package.
So it has a mount. Can we suspend it?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
we can suspension mount it. We have a plastic clip that goes on to the body, so it will not ruin it.
Okay.
So you don't see like the screws here. You don't.
Yeah.
It will ruin the aesthetic of the light.
Yeah, it's very clean, very smooth.
Right.
I like the mood lighting because it is such a nice looking fixture.
Yes.
Yeah, I dig it. Okay. So
Now-
fully featured, lots of power.
Right.
But thin. It's great.
And the thing is, the price point. This is retail at $599.99
Really?
for a premium flagship LED.
Yeah.
230 watt, all the bells and whistles, all the mounts, shade included.
Everything included.
Included $599.99.
Wow.
It's already available on Buffett Supplies.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can go check it out.
Okay. That's great. So many things I didn't see just walking by this. This is why I like to come and talk to vendors because
Yes.
I would have missed that if you didn't show it to me. I am very impressed. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Howard, the orange filter, something that's been around for a while, revolutionized taking photos with your tank, but this thing is going to revolutionize it again.
I have been taking coral photographs for a long time, and I really want to make something that will help the average hobbyist without having to go into the professional mode, the aperture, shutter speed, white balance. What I really want is that when you take your camera out, when you take a cell phone out, just snap on the filter lens, take a couple snapshots, and that's it, right?
Okay.
So this is what gonna do it for you. It's gonna make it happen for the average hobbyist.
Talk me through it.
Okay, we have been using filters for a long time, and one thing with orange filters, even though it does a really good job of filtering the blue light, but it actually do too good a job. I get rid of all the neo UV lights, the deep blue, the royal blue, even the cyan. So even though you don't get blue colors, sometimes when you use orange filters,
Yeah.
you get the coral like really bland color. You lack the greens and the yellows. You get plenty of red, but that's it.
Okay.
That's the issue with acrylic lenses. So we have been, working on this issue for a long time, and this is the product that we come up with. We call it the True Reef because we believe that it actually retains the true color of corals when you take a photo of it. Now, as you can see, the color, if I put it against a white background, you see that it's like not really like an orange, but
Yeah.
more like a yellowish
Okay.
tint onto it.
Yep.
But if you look at it at an angle, you see with reflect lights. It will
Yeah.
reflect the blue light.
Yeah, it's bluish
So
light.
we are filtering the blue light as well as reflecting them. So by reflecting them, we can actually pinpoint the light that we don't want, the deep blue, the royal blues. but we can retain some of the UVs, the near UVs.
Okay.
So you can retain the color, the pop of corals. And we also retain a lot of the cyan, the green, the yellow, the red, that makes up the true color of your corals. Now, I think you can try it on your camera and see it for yourself, because it's going to tell a much better story than what I'm saying here.
And the really nice thing about it is I don't have to clip anything to my phone.
It is iPhone Maxspect compatible.
Just go like that, and
Right.
I'm on, and I'm rolling.
Yes, and we make the lens big enough though, so you won't see the rim of the otherwise smaller filter lenses, right?
Yeah,
The clip-on always have that issue. When you zoom in, you will see the rim, you will see the circle.
And then I gotta clip it, and I knock it
Yeah,
off.
you're also
going
gonna
to
ruin your case, you'll ruin your protective film on top.
It just comes right on, comes right off.
This is MagSafe compatible. It works on all iPhones with MagSafe.
This is coming with me, Howard.
Yes.
It's too good. I gotta use. That's great. It's such an easy tweak, along with the lens. About you talking to filtering. I gotta go take some videos and try this.
Yeah.
I'm just in love with it.